Imagine waking up tomorrow, and every ocean on Earth is simply gone. No waves, no beaches, no ships, just endless empty basins stretching farther than the eye can see. At first, it might sound like the ultimate mystery, but within hours, the planet would begin collapsing into chaos. Billions of lives would change forever. Weather would spiral out of control, and entire ecosystems would vanish. The disappearance of Earth's oceans wouldn't just be one of the biggest disasters in history, it would completely rewrite life as we know it. So, what would actually happen if all the oceans suddenly disappeared? Let's dive into one of the most terrifying what-if scenarios imaginable. The first thing you'd notice is something humanity has never seen before: the ocean floor. Massive underwater mountain ranges, gigantic trenches deeper than Mount Everest is tall, ancient volcanoes, and canyons hidden beneath the sea for millions of years would suddenly be exposed. The Mariana Trench, Earth's deepest point, would become a gigantic scar stretching nearly 11 kilometers below sea level. Walking across it would be impossible without advanced equipment because the pressure and conditions would be unlike anything on land. But the beauty would last only a moment. Almost every marine creature, from tiny plankton to the largest blue whales, would die within hours. Oceans contain around 97% of all Earth's water and are home to millions of species. Without water, entire ecosystems would collapse almost instantly. The smell of billions of dead sea creatures would spread across continents, creating one of the worst environmental disasters imaginable. The climate would begin changing almost immediately. Oceans act like Earth's air conditioner, absorbing enormous amounts of heat from the sun and distributing it around the globe through powerful currents. Without them, temperatures would become wildly unpredictable. Some places would experience unbearable heat during the day and freezing temperatures at night. Coastal regions that once enjoyed mild weather would become harsh deserts or icy wastelands depending on their location. Rain would also become incredibly rare. Most of Earth's rainfall comes from water evaporating from the oceans. Without that endless supply of moisture, clouds would gradually disappear. Rivers, lakes, and freshwater supplies would begin drying up. Crops would fail across the planet, creating massive food shortages. Within months, billions of people would struggle just to find drinking water. The atmosphere itself would begin changing. Oceans produce roughly half of the oxygen we breathe, thanks to microscopic organisms called phytoplankton. As these organisms disappear, oxygen production would drop dramatically. It wouldn't happen overnight, but over time, the air would contain less oxygen, while carbon dioxide levels continued rising, making Earth's climate even more extreme. Global trade would collapse almost instantly. Around 90% of international trade moves by sea. Without oceans, cargo ships would sit stranded in enormous empty basins. Entire economies would grind to a halt as food, fuel, electronics, and essential goods could no longer travel across the world efficiently. Prices would skyrocket, and shortages would become the new normal. Energy production would suffer as well. Offshore oil rigs, underwater pipelines, fishing industries, and many renewable energy systems would become useless overnight. Millions of jobs would disappear, pushing the global economy into an unprecedented crisis. Even Earth's geology would become unstable. The weight of the oceans presses down on the planet's crust. Removing trillions of tons of water could trigger increased volcanic activity and earthquakes as the Earth's surface slowly adjusted to the missing mass. Regions that had been stable for millions of years might suddenly experience powerful seismic events. The newly exposed ocean floor wouldn't remain empty forever. Dust storms would sweep across these gigantic dry basins, carrying salt and toxic minerals into the atmosphere. Winds would spread them across continents, damaging farmland and making breathing even more difficult in many regions. Surprisingly, the oceans disappearing wouldn't mean all the water vanished forever. Much of it would likely remain trapped beneath Earth's crust or frozen in glaciers and ice caps. Scientists believe there may actually be enormous reservoirs of water deep inside Earth's mantle, but accessing them would be nearly impossible with current technology. Over thousands or even millions of years, Earth's appearance would be completely transformed. The exposed ocean basins could slowly become enormous deserts, mountain valleys, or entirely new landscapes shaped by wind and geological activity. Future civilizations, if any survived, might discover fossils of whales lying in what would now be dry canyons, wondering how an entire planet once held oceans there. In reality, the complete disappearance of Earth's oceans is essentially impossible based on everything we know about physics and planetary science. But imagining such a scenario reminds us just how important our oceans truly are. They regulate our climate, provide oxygen, support countless species, and make life on Earth possible. Without them, our blue planet would quickly become an almost unrecognizable world. If you enjoyed this mind-blowing what-if scenario, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Triviaxel Media for more fascinating mysteries, science, and unbelievable facts. And let us know in the comments, what if scenario should we explore next?